Ash, not one chair?
I don't do chairs.
So what about your guests? We all just gonna stand, stare at you?
Guests? No. Did you come in here to drag me from my office decor, or do you want to prep for Top Takes Daily?
Let's prep.
Great. All right. So obviously what Shep said was beyond the pale, but you've already been memed to death on social media, so it's not like it's going anywhere.
You know what, Ash, the more and more I think
soon.
about Shep right now, the angrier I'm getting. So I'd rather not talk about this.
Okay, be that as it may, you will have to talk about it, and
Mila?
you can't
You spoke about Mila on
lose your
TV?
cool on national television.
I don't care about TV. That is not cool.
I'm sorry. Do you think that this is a prestige TV show? They're going to ask you about it. You're going to talk about it, and you're going to get your emotions in check. Do you understand?
That was not acceptable.
Sure. Tell that to him when you see him in person.
Oh, I will.
But when you talk about it on TV, because believe me, you will have to talk about it on TV, you need to keep an even keel. You can say that the comment was unacceptable. You can even call him trash if you want.
But
I
isn't
don't
that
care.
basically losing my cool again?
Not if it's true. Okay? The main thing is you need to keep your cool so that it doesn't look like you're about to attack Kendrick Perkins for bringing it up on television. That's going to make you look weak.
Okay. I can get with that.
You could play the disappointed parent card, right? Oh, I expected more from my fellow man. The NBA is a brotherhood. Blah, blah, blah. Whatever.
High road or low road, right?
No,
Kinda thing?
they're both the high road. Both the high road, just different flavors. But the key is you got to be authentic, all right? You need to be you. You just need to be the calmest, most mature version of yourself possible.
Yeah, that's kind of like when I was in college. It kind of reminds me of that time when...
No, I don't have time to go on a trip down memory lane. Do you have anything else to say about Top Takes Daily?
No. I have no more questions.
Excellent. I'll see you at the studio. I'm going to meet you there. I need to lay some ground rules with the showrunner. And I also want to be there in case anything crops up last minute. Does that sound good?
Sounds like a plan. Again, thank you for your advice. Thank you for... Get some chairs in here next time.
Engage your core. Sit on the yoga ball. Wouldn't hurt.
What you got there, Ashley? Huh?
Bunch of hopefuls.
Okay.
Trying to ride your coattails.
And,
And here he is.
MP, my name is Jocelyn Davies, executive producer for Top Takes Daily. So nice to meet you.
it's a pleasure to meet you as well.
As I was telling Jocelyn earlier, we are open to any discussion involving one Shep Owens, but we do expect those questions to be respectful. And if you wish to move on quickly from any given question, we expect that desire to be honored.
And as I was just explaining to Ms. St. Germain, this is a reputable program on a billion-dollar network. We take procedures and standards very seriously and will, of course, treat MP
No
with
snacks in the dressing room.
Oh, my gosh. I will take care of it.
Second day this week.
Got it.
Yeah.
It's done.
Chips, billion-dollar
cookies,
network.
crackers, popcorn.
Got it.
I'm not
Got
asking
it.
for
Thank
much.
you so much. 60 seconds.
Thank you.
Very reputable.
That's Stan right there.
We'll, of course, treat MP with the utmost respect and professionalism at all times.
Will you guys have snacks?
Oh, yeah, we got snacks.
Hey, and I'm good. Let's do it.
Jocelyn, I mean it. Okay? This is not the day for Kendrick to try to go viral over anything. Are we clear?
Ash, loosen up a little bit. I can handle Perkins. That's no problem.
See? MP's a big boy. He can take care of himself.
Oh, of that I'm sure. But I can take care of myself. Okay, let's not forget that.
Okay. You ready to head a set now?
Yeah.
Let's head over. Everyone, I'd like to introduce MP.
Hey, how's it going? Sam Woods. Big fan. Nice to meet you.
Thanks, man.
Of course, you know JJ
My guy. Good to see you.
and Kendrick.
Hey, what's going on, superstar?
Awkward. All right, you're going to sit right here adjacent to me. Thanks.
All right, places, everyone.
All right, everybody. We're going live. Thanks for coming on the show. Here we go.
Anytime.
Just follow my video. 4, 3. And welcome back to Top Takes Daily. And for our next segment, we are joined live in studio by the guy everybody is talking about, our very special guest, MP. Welcome to the program.
My man, thank you guys for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for joining us. Now, I know this might be a sensitive subject, but I just want to get right into it. We all saw what happened on draft night.
Yeah.
But we haven't heard your side of the story. So I'm wondering, how does it feel to be on the receiving end of a mixed reaction like that on what should be the most enjoyable night of your life?
that just comes with the territory, you know? Like, we make a lot of money, and it's all because of those passionate fans out there. Night in and night out, coming into the games and showing their support. It's because of them. You know what I'm saying? And yes, the fans are free to express their feelings however way they want, but it don't matter to me.
I mean, are we serious right now? Listen, MP, with all due respect, do you expect us to believe that if my own so-called fans were booing me, that wouldn't sit right with me at all?
Yo, Kendrick, my man, it doesn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know in the long run, people will come around and, see what I'm all about. And that's just giving everything that I got to this game. Not only to the team, but to this city, man. It's my job. Proving my worth to these fans is my job. So I know right now they may be booing, but soon enough they're gonna be cheering for me.
MP, let's stay with the draft for a moment. A big part of the reaction to your selection was the fact that Shep Owens, your biggest rival, was still on the draft board.
That's right.
But a lot of people think he has the higher upside due to his athleticism and the fact that he has loads of untapped potential as a relative newcomer to this game, whereas you've been trying to work on your skill set for the last decade plus. How would you respond to people who think you've got the higher floor but the lower ceiling?
I understand where that view comes from, but I don't share it.
And why is that?
It's because basketball is about a lot more than athletic ability. I mean, what it's all about, like, what is your opponent doing? How can you stop them? What are your teammates' strengths? How can you empower them to play the best basketball that they can play?
Almost like a chess match.
Absolutely. A complete chess match. Thank you. Athleticism is a tool, but that's all it is. It's a tool. It's like giving a power drill to a baby. But that doesn't mean that the baby can build you a house just because he has that power drill. You feel what I'm saying?
Time out.
Did I mess your head up with that one?
Are you calling Shep Owens a baby?
I think so.
No. Don't. What I'm saying is it's just a metaphor. So let's not read into that a little too much here.
MP, we keep it real on here. I gotta ask you, man to man, how do you respond to Shep Owens calling you out on his reality show?
Oh, wow.
This dude took shots at you. He took shots at your family. He even took shots at your girl. What do you say to something like that?
I'm going to say this as calmly as possible. Because at the end of the day, it's disappointing to me. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to me, basketball is a place where you express joy. Yeah, I want to beat my opponent, don't get me wrong. So in the heat of the moment, words do get exchanged. But to talk about another man's family? Like, fam, I'm embarrassed for him. My man has a lot of growing up to do.
Well, what I want to know and we want to know, the next time you two meet, are you going to exchange words? Are y'all going to exchange words?
I don't know. But I'm sure there's going to be a discussion. That I can promise you. I'm not expecting him to change his stripes. He is who he is. So when someone shows you who they are, you believe them. That's it. That's what my parents told me, and that's just how I live.
Well, this has been unforgettable, and I'd love to continue this conversation, but unfortunately, we are out of time. MP, thank you for joining us.
Wait, so that's it?
It's been a real pleasure. Yeah, and then we got to wrap things up, but you have been a tremendous sport, and we really appreciate you answering the tough questions. We wish you all the best, you and your family and your girl. Coming up next, we talk early season contenders and pretenders, but first, this commercial break.
When did you realize, I want to try to make this my career? I want to try to become a 2K League professional. When did that casual fun side of 2K become a serious thought of, I can compete out here and this is what I want to do?
So I say like around 2K21 was when I broke my ankle. And so when I broke my ankle, I wasn't really leaving the house as much. So I had a lot of time to play 2K. I was really a casual player, but then once I wasn't leaving the house, I started playing a lot. And then I started playing pro. I remember this guy, I'm not gonna say his name, but he told me like you should definitely like pursue the 2K League, and I had no idea he could make.
It's still early in the season, and teams are still trying to figure out rotations. Greg, what's it like to play in a game like that tonight?
Well, for a lot of these guys, Kevin, it's all about jockeying for position, making an argument for minutes. You want to earn the trust of your coaches.
And checking out Utah's opening lineup. Up front, it's Vanderbilt at the 4 and Kessler at the 5. Clarkson is out there with Conley, and it's Markkanen in at the 3.
Boy, Mike Conley has always been such a steadying influence, a respected leader. Doesn't matter what team he's on.
The Jazz shooting their first free throws of the night.
Yeah, and fairly decent a season ago, about 77% from the line.
And the first one drops.
And for years, Mike Conley had an interesting title, the best player to never make an All-Star game. Well, that changed in 2021 when Conley was named an All-Star.
And so Mike Conley nails both of them. For Mike Conley, year 13 was lucky for it, going to that first All-Star game.
And that was the longest wait ever to become an All-Star. Conley, 33 at the time of that first selection, just shows you the work ethic of Mike, always trying to improve. Just setting the tone with an aggressive move to the rack. And where's the help defensively?
To me, that's a complete lack of communication on that side of the ball. These guys need to be talking to each other.
Back to Conley. Shoots it up. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
Now, Mike Conley, we know his pre-shot preparation is excellent. Catch and shoot bucket, yes, sir.
Ingram against Markkanen. Back to Jones. That's good, and it's Ingram with the assist.
How about how he sets his man up there, runs him right into the screen, and then gets the basket.
And there's the pass to Clarkson. Up top, Markkanen. Jazz passing it around. The shot by Clarkson, no good.
And he did everything he could to make that shot as difficult as possible.
We call that a great contest. You know this is something he brings to the table, the ability to anchor your defense.
And Jones sends it back. And here's McCollum. Over Conley, and the basket by McCollum.
If there's a weakness in your defense, McCollum will find it. Reads the floor exceptionally well.
Markkanen passes to Conley. Pass to Clarkson. To the paint. And it's Conley that time on the assist from Clarkson. Conley's got 6 points.
Not just a scorer. Clarkson is very willing to dish it when a teammate's open. I think people underestimated the Pelicans last year. They had such a tough start to the season, but still were able to make it to the playoffs.
Now here's Jones. Just 5 to shoot. And Jones with the stuff.
I'll bet even they didn't think the pick would work that well.
No. And they get the major league dunk out of it, too.
And my question is, where was the help? Someone rotate over and challenge.
Here's Conley following the score by New Orleans. Rebounded by Valanciunas. Unfortunately, the Pelicans did make a first-round exit in the postseason group.
In a series, they took to 6 games, but yeah, it couldn't put together that deep run. Maybe this year, things will be different.
Timeout is called, first of the game for the Jazz, getting their first look of the season at this Pelicans team.
And they usually came out on top when these two teams faced off last year. No surprise, they're the better team.
And New Orleans going with a whole new group out there.
That was your Pelicans dance team.
There's a minute 47 left in the first quarter. Pass to Horton Tucker. Beasley with a clean look. The Jazz again can't hit it.
Well, the defense clearly was not interested in guarding him from downtown. They're very fortunate he missed.
Here's Jordan. Rebound, Utah. Coming off that loss against the Timberwolves.
You know what? That's a game where the coach might just want to burn the video because there's no question they're a better team than what we saw, but they got crushed on that night.
They slept-walked through that entire effort. Way too much talent on the roster for them to let that happen.
Jazz trail by 4. Of course, you know, I'm looking at these numbers for Malik Beasley. He never turns the ball over.
You're right, Kev. This is normally one of the players always amongst the best in terms of turnover percentage. And you love that about Malik. Why? Because he can score the basketball without making mistakes. The offensive game is based on efficiency.
Now, here is Jordan. Following the miss by Malik Beasley. And Doris, one of the Jazz games you called last year was pretty special. It was the first all-female broadcast team in NBA history.
And one of the best parts for me, Kev, was there were a variety of women in roles that will never be seen on the camera. So tape, graphics, audio, operations, each and every one of them, just like the 3 broadcasters who were calling the game, have been in their position at some point where the only person in the room was of your gender, just like yourself. So it's unique that the entire broadcast was filled with very capable women. It was such an honor to be a part of.
Now here's Jordan. Following the miss by Malik Beasley. Off on the layup. Knocked loose. It's off his foot. And the ref's whistling a kick ball. And so Markkanen will bring it up for the Utah Jazz. Trailing by 4. Pass to Horton Tucker. The pass to Sexton. The Jazz again can't hit it. The Pelicans have gone 5 of 9 from the field here in the first. Here's Alvarado. Defended by Sexton. And he gets the whistle for the 3-second call.
Now into the lineup for your
Jazz trail by 4.
Naji Marshall.
Sexton deciding where to go with it. No good on the last second attempt there. And that concludes the first quarter of play. New Orleans on top. They're up by 4. We've got more in store for you right after this.
Come on, Pelicans fans, on your feet.
And thanks again for tuning in. If you're just joining us, we've played through 1 quarter of action so far. And before we move on, what do you guys think about what we've seen so far from New Orleans?
What we saw in that first quarter, they won their matchups defensively.
I think across the board, a number of guys have done a great job guarding multiple positions.
On the floor for Utah, getting going here in the second quarter. Up front, it's Vanderbilt at the 4 and Kessler at the 5. Colin Sexton is out there with Clarkson. And it's Horton Tucker in at the small forward position. And to watch NBA offense when the ball is hopping, I think you'd agree, it is beautiful. The precision, the grace, the timing. How much of that, Doris, is just making the simple pass?
I think the best basketball is played when players think, what is the next right play? And so often, Kevin, that is simply moving the basketball. On the catch, you're in triple threat position. But as soon as you don't have anything, move it to the next guy. So I couldn't agree more.
And the latest now from our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David, it's all yours. Take it away.
Thank you, Kevin. Last season, we know the Pelicans made that trade to bring in C.J. McCollum. He says, I think it's a match made in heaven. I'm happy to be here. The cool part is that I haven't had to make any real adjustments. The way I play is the right way. Kevin, back to you.
Well, and he's completely changing teams mid-season. Tough thing to do, but he is a veteran that can certainly handle it. Ball in his hands, good things usually happen. Hey, David, thank you for that story.
And credit the hustle from McCollum there. When he sees a chance to capitalize in transition, he attacks. And you look at the way Ingram can get off a shot. When he gets to his spots, there's just no stopping him. Very few players can create like he can.
Here's Horton Tucker. Nothing yet on the scoreboard for him. A creator indeed, and the name you always hear, Greg, with Ingram as a comparison, Kevin Durant.
And that's about as fair a comp as you'll find. Ingram is special with how he can rise up over defenders with that shot. It makes him a lethal weapon late in the game. And you know there aren't many teams with a more dedicated fan base than Utah's. The Jazz fans are behind their team no matter what.
Zion Williamson's checked in for Marshall. And Utah with a change here, too. Mike Conley's checked in for Sexton. And he can't hit the second. It's always striking, Greg, to see the bond between the Jazz team and their following.
Well, when you're the only game in town, people take the team to heart. And we see it in cities like Portland and San Antonio as well. The fans form that attachment to their team. Quick job of getting up the floor and creating early offense.
You don't give the defense any chance to set up. Sometimes you just love an easy look.
Jones, the pass to Williamson. Back to Jones. 6 on the shot clock. That one goes in for him, too, making it look easy. He's now 4 for 4.
And they keep hammering away at him inside, forcing the ball into the paint.
Passes it to Clarkson. Inside, here's Horton Tucker. And no good that time. Some solid defense from Ingram.
And they're controlling the boards, Kevin. That's a +5 in that category.
Listen, this guy is not the most dangerous threat from there, but you have got to honor the shooting a little bit.
They've been struggling here on offense.
Yeah, a bit of a dry spell for sure.
Time called here. The Jazz decide to talk it over.
And guys, things are looking up in New Orleans. The extension for Zion Williamson reflecting his commitment to this young core. And with the 8-pick and Dyson Daniels, that the Pels added to their bevy of young wing defenders, they're building a team to contend.
Teams changing it up here. Knocks it loose, and it's out of bounds. The Jazz able to retain possession here.
Active hands from him as he's able to deflect that pass out of bounds.
Well, that's what you call a game of inches. They talk about it in football. We see it right there.
Now here's Conley. He has 6. Outside, Markkanen launches it. The shot, no good. And New Orleans will go the other way with it. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
And what an outstanding win it was. I mean, to get it the way they did in overtime made it that much sweeter.
You know, they came in as the underdog here. Very low expectations, could play without pressure, and clearly that worked.
And there had been so much talk about Zion wanting out of New Orleans. That was all put to rest this past summer. Zion signing a loaded extension to keep him with the Pelicans for the next handful of years.
Mind the lane. One shot.
And as incredible as Zion Williamson has been and is, the big problem, Greg, is keeping him ready to play. His health.
And there have been all sorts of opinions chiming in on whether he can play at a high weight. But the bottom line is something needs to happen to keep him healthy. He's lost too much time early in his career.
Well, smart shot selection from Mike Conley, right? Just get into your mid-range bag and complete the play. He does so there.
New Orleans moving it around, and Williamson throws it down.
Taking it to the rack with power.
Hammering down the two-hand slam. Outside Conley, pass to Clarkson. Takes the 13-footer. Out of bounds, New Orleans will take possession. Jackson Hayes is checked in for the Pelicans.
For your Pelicans, Jackson Hayes.
54 seconds left to play in the first half. Ingram outside. Pass to Alvarado. Now here's Nance. The pass to Murphy. For three, Ingram. Rebound by Olynyk. Jazz trail by 14. Conley into the lane. Can't get it to drop. Made three. Missed two from the field. Down low. Nance. And then shoots it in.
What I love about Larry Nance Jr. is he doesn't need the ball to be effective, but when he does get the ball, he shoots with high percentage.
Clarkson against Murphy. Clarkson up top. Over Murphy. Off target on the 15-footer.
Boy, a miss like that would drive any scorer crazy, especially with the defender giving a cushion.
And so it's New Orleans with a sizable lead as the quarter wraps up. They're ahead 16 points. What a night they've had in terms of their shooting. Everything dropping in for them. And we'll be back with you shortly. Well, we've got a second half of basketball for you. We think it's going to be pretty good. A big comeback, though, is needed for this game to be competitive, and it probably has to happen quickly. You have to like what we've seen from Jones.
And you know he's going to put up points every time out, but boy, he made it look so easy in that first half.
Now let's see if he continues that trend the rest of the way. He certainly has the talent and the endurance to do just that.
Ingram in the front court with Williamson. McCollum and Jones are their guards. And it's Valanciunas in at the pivot spot manning the middle. And that's the group for Willie Green as we begin the second half.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts. And the second chance becomes a dunk. We could feel over here.
GA such a good, aggressive play in the paint. Now, here's Clarkson. No points in the game yet for him. Here's Markkanen. 6 to shoot. And looks like the illegal pick was set. Yep, that's right. That'll get their attention.
When a pick like that is questionable, it creates that much.
Making some changes here. Hernan Gomez is checked in for Jonas Valanciunas. Marshall comes in for Brandon Ingram. And it's Jordan in for Jones. Here's McCollum. That one doesn't go. Good work defensively by Conley. Utah has gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. From outside, off the mark.
He is too good a shooter, guys, to be left open like that. The defense just dodged a bullet there.
Here's Jordan. Nice D from Sexton. For Utah, they've gone 2 of 7 from the field in the third. That leaves room for improvements. Markkanen, good.
Well, that's an example of using both vision and playmaking ability to find the open teammate. Sexton is a quality floor general.
Here's Jordan. No good there. So Utah will take it the other way. And there's the call on Mr. Perfect. That'll be his second foul of the game. We know, Greg, the league trending towards small ball, but some teams are having success playing 2 bigs up front.
And I think the key is having versatile big men. If they can space the floor and play in space, also be able to cover smaller players, why not get the added rebounding and rim protection?
It's not just the decision.
Making some changes here. Hayes comes in for Zion Williamson. And it's Jordan in for McCollum. And Utah also making a switch. Mike Conley's checked in for Malik Beasley. And so in the game for the Jazz, up front it's Vanderbilt at the 4 and Kessler at the 5. Sexton is out there with Conley. And it's Markkanen in at the 3, the small forward. Greg, we're seeing more fines recently for the language that players use with the media. Is that a concern?
I don't think it should be a concern, and I'm not kidding. The league's going to have standards of decorum. You're on TV. You got to keep it together. However, I think that as a society, we're a little more tolerant of certain words that are used in public. Wow, something's brewing, guys. The three-pointers just continue to flow.
To the inside. Here's Jordan. Agbaji pulls it in. Jazz have gone 3 of 6 in the field so far in the fourth quarter. Alexander Walker passes to Fontecchio. No good that time.
Boy, that's too easy to miss, but somehow he finds a way to do it.
It's stolen. And now Utah, fast break. Passes to Agbaji. And the layup's good off the glass. Agbaji's got his first points in this one.
How about the timing? Could be the difference between an assist and a turnover. Nice delivery.
Stolen. In transition, here come the Jazz. The shot's good from Alexander Walker.
In the flick of the switch, going from defense to offense.
Well, just terrific anticipation to force the turnover and ignite the break.
That was a second look at our Mobile One drive. Amazing control on display.
And they might be down big, but you'd love the mentality he has to go at defenders and just keep attacking.
Fast break. Here come the Jazz. Pulls up. Here's Gay. And the layup falls.
And looking a lot better now, but still a long way to go to get back into this one.
Yeah, but this run started with tighter execution at both ends, and that'll need to be maintained for them to have a chance to take the lead.
Here's Marshall after Rudy Gay's bucket. Marshall dishes to Jordan. 5 on the clock. Hayes trying to break free. Here's Juan Gomez. And foul on the shot. He'll shoot 2 at the free throw line.
Third team foul.
And when this guy is aggressive offensively, really can make things happen. He'll go to the free throw line.
No good on the free throw. So Utah ends up going with the new group. Good on the second free throw.
Well, we call this high IQ and good instincts for the game, and these things Willie relies on to succeed at this level.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give up here for the Pelicans.
Looking at both these teams, they're great rebounders, and on any given night, you might not know who would have the advantage on the boards.
They made the most of those extra rebounds as well, Kevin.
And so with this, they'll end up with their second win on the year.
And once it becomes official, this win gives them a nice confidence boost against this team. They'll face them twice more this season.
And you know, when you look at the huge impact he had, just a monster game for C.J. McCollum.
Efficient productivity. You love what this guy has given to you on the offensive end.
Now here's Jones. Jordan Clarkson missing his last shot. Ingram outside. Fires for 3. And so the ball's out of bounds. Ingram touched it last.
Substitution on the court.
And Utah has possession. 19-point game. Pass to Agbaji. Here's Alexander Walker. And there's the call on Mr. Perfect. And that'll be his third foul so far.
Third team foul.
Here's Alexander Walker. taking the W here, and the outcome of this one was never in doubt.
And boy, they really put in a supreme effort. It just felt like once they had that lead and it was comfortable, they were not going to relinquish.
Thank you for joining us. That'll do it for now. For Greg Anthony, Doris